Howdy, friends and neighbors. Welcome back to Hands-On Living. I'm your host, Peter Arena, and this is our next episode of the Walk and Talk Captain's Logs. I think I might call them the Captain's Sermons, because I'm more of a preacher type. So down here in the beautiful Nature Center bosque of Albuquerque, New Mexico, back home. And it's a gorgeous day. It is, what is today's date? Let's see here. Hold on, give me a second. It is the 15th of January, Thursday, January 15th. And I'm at the Rio Grande Nature Center, and it's a lovely day, as you can see. Typical New Mexico. Beautiful blue skies. Just amazing. Anyway, we're going to talk about the things that are on my mind. I think that's the whole point here, right? Let's see if I can't get this thing straightened out a bit. I'm still trying to get myself squared away with this technology. I'm not opposed to technology. I like technology. I just like it to serve me and not to serve it. And so I've got this nice Chinese made tracking little handset thing. Hi folks, how are you? And I've got the microphone on, as you can see. Hopefully it's working. And nice people walking along. Hi folks, how are you? In the Nature Center. The big issue right now is AI. Okay, let's get down to the brass tacks. I can sum it up that what we have is an impending tsunami of concentrated control into the hands of fewer and fewer people. I was recently driving through the Salt River Valley, where the greater Phoenix metropolitan area is located. And we noticed as we were driving through all these new data centers. And I turned to my brother and I said, hey man, 20 years ago, nobody would have known what the hell a data center is. And yet here they all are, collecting our data. And I'm not sure, nor is the vast majority of people around us sure of what the hell they're doing with all of that data. But my bet is that it ain't nothing good. And so I'm going to make a brief interruption to what's going on here. But you can see this is one of the main, what are called acequias here in New Mexico, which is basically an irrigation ditch. But this runs parallel to the Rio Grande, which I'm sort of walking toward right now. But the irrigation ditches, the acequias, service all of the agricultural fields, many of which are now, gone here in the city, but that's the general idea. Anyhow, this AI thing, people are nibbling around the edges in some ways, and some people are looking at it head on, and I think people are freaked out, understandably. But I gotta say, I'm not pessimistic about this. I think what's coming here is an opportunity for people to basically discern what's real and what's not. And in making that choice, they're able to choose that which is real. And so we can choose to be immersed in this fake world. I just saw Jimmy Dore talking with Scott Ritter. And Scott was, he was lamenting the fact that AI is coming along, and, it finally dawned on him, something that I'd known for quite a while, and that is that Hollywood is about to be replaced entirely by AI. These actors are out of jobs here real soon. There's no more of that. There's no more real personalities in that way. We have been inured to that idea with a lot of the CGI animated stuff. And, you saw what a profoundly great job was done in movies like Avatar not that long ago. And more, it has been subtly, imperceptibly infiltrated into even the things that we think are, normal movies, as it were. They aren't necessarily the backgrounds are AI generated, CGI, whatever you want to call it at that point. A lot of the extras, they're gone. And so you still have a lot of these supposed real personalities out there. And I'm sure there's this frantic effort on the part of the Hollywood glitterati and the machinery of Hollywood, all the people that are in that industry. They see it. They understand what's happening. And they're trying to cope with adapting to that. And so, the contracts are being written where people can ascertain. I'm going to turn around and go the other way so that you can see me better. So that, the talent and the talent's agent are negotiating contracts with the movie producers and saying, hey, look, we'll cough up our rights to Brad Pitt's image and his likeness and his voice being simulated, but you got to pay for it. But eventually that's going to run out. And so you're going to have to ask yourself, well, do they create a new crop? The reality is that they don't even have to have a real person, right? They basically come along, give us some sort of literal holographic simulacrum of a real person, and that person, quote unquote person, can make real life appearances, but the fact is that they aren't there. They don't exist. They aren't people. And so then, they create the facade of a real person. That person meets up with another person, and then they have some sort of sexual tryst in the tabloids, and they have children, quote unquote. The whole thing. A life is simulated, and through holographic imagery and presentation to a willfully or unwittingly obedient and obliging public, they end up becoming, the new Brad Pitts, okay, the new stars, but they never existed. And this is where we're going. So what are we left with? The only thing we're left with is the opportunity to be right there in front of one another. I mean, for all intents and purposes, I'm not real. I'm an AI simulation. All this beauty that I'm surrounded by here in the wintertime, everything's kind of brown, could just very well be a simulation. All you can have is the faith that I'm not lying to you and telling you that it isn't a simulation, that I'm really here. And so what are we left with? We're left with the opportunity, the responsibility, the only option really is to meet face to face in what I call meat space, MEAT space, meat space. And that's not so bad. That's a pretty cool thing. And so I'm not pessimistic. I'm actually pretty encouraged. I think that we have a really interesting revelation, apocalypse, an uncovering that's happening right now. And I think it's pretty cool, actually. I'm not scared. I'm really, I used to be scared. I admit it. I think a lot of people are scared. And I think that once they sit down and they really start to think it through, they start to realize that, wow, I can unplug because it's all fake and gay. And so it's not worth my time and energy. Yo. Hi. Hi. Bicyclists, real bicyclists, or are they? Yeah, so this is a beautiful day. I'm real, or at least you're gonna have to believe I am. And we've got boundless opportunities. I'll pick it up next week and we'll talk some more about this. I think what I'd like to talk more about, and perhaps have a composed, structured conversation about, one way of course, is what's going on with Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, people like them who are actively standing up against what is, in my opinion, a satanic agenda. And the agenda of these Satanists is what's driving this AI. So stay tuned for next week. Talk to you soon. God bless. Love you all. Bye-bye.